Hello and welcome to episode number 12 of the Tweedle Eat, Tweedle Run podcast, where Steph and I document our Run Disney adventures at both Disneyland and Disney World parks. As you can see, we are on location today.
And we're together.
And in person. I'm Court and this is Steph.
Hello. And as always, you can reach out to us on Instagram at tweedleeattweedlerun or on email at tweedleeattweedlerun@gmail.com. We are also on YouTube where you get to see our two smiley faces. And we are also on Spotify if you want to listen to us, or Amazon Music. Look for Tweedle Eat and Tweedle Run. On today's episode, we've got a couple things to talk about. We're going to talk about whether we got our last bib for our last race.
Last bibs.
And our upcoming race, which is
One
next
week. Less than 1 week from today.
Yeah, we'll be done by this time next week.
No. We fly out on Thursday next week.
Yes, it is Friday.
Yeah, we won't be done.
No, but we'll be done the first race.
Yeah, I guess. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
we'll be done. By this time next week, we'll be done.
Will we be done? Because it's
no, we won't be. Time change.
Time change.
That's right.
No, it'll be 6:30. We'll be done. We'll be done.
If I'm not in the last corral.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll see.
I messed up that registration. We'll find out. So yes, we will be in Disneyland, California, this time next week.
Mm-hmm.
I will also be at my expiry date.
I know. We're gonna fly out the day before you expire and
I
become
know.
officially old, like me.
Mm-hmm.
Everything falls apart at 40. Steph, get excited for it.
That's what you keep telling me.
How many more times do I see you at physio now? And it's not just like one problem. It's like, which one of my many problems should I see you about this week?
It's very true. It's very true.
So let's talk race bibs first.
Yes, race bibs. So this past week, Springtime Surprise race bibs went on sale on Tuesday.
And normally we are not together, so we're texting
scrambling
and trying to figure out, did you get it? This time, I actually had a physio appointment with Steph, and she planned it for the exact time of the race bib drop.
It's true.
So I showed up at physio, we both logged in.
We had like at least six browsers going, because you had 4 going on your computer.
I had 4 on my laptop, I had my 1 on my device, you had your phone.
And I had 1 on my laptop, so we had 7. Seven going, and ding, 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 the winner, my phone.
Steph's phone, and by a landslide.
By a landslide.
Like you were in, so it was the fastest I've ever seen us get bibs.
Yes.
You were in like 13 minutes, all said and done.
All said and done. I think by the time I actually cashed this out and everything, it was probably like almost 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But everything said and done, actually getting in was like 13 minutes.
It was quick, and then our browsers, so my phone was the next fastest. But it still, I think, had like 15 minutes after you had gotten in. So it would have gotten in eventually. But the browsers for both our laptops, more than an hour still on both of them.
So crazy.
The mobile phones definitely. And it was on the same network you were using.
It was, because we were all on my office's Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So I think my device was on my data. I didn't connect my device to your Wi-Fi because I connected my laptop to the Wi-Fi.
Well, thank you, GRSM, for your Wi-Fi, for getting us into 3/4 of these races, actually.
Yeah, quite a few. So anyway, so we were successful in getting the races. And Steph, what did you sign up for, even though we all know that you're doing all the races? But...
I signed up for the Baymax Big Hero 6 Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So
and what did I sign up for?
She also signed up for the Big Hero 6 Challenge, and then I think immediately regretted her decision.
Like a dum-dum. Well, here was the thinking. So this weekend, I'm doing the 5 and the 10K.
It's true.
And then for Princess, I'm doing the 10K and the half. So now it's like, well, the 10K and the half is more total kilometers than doing the 5K, the 10K, and the 10 miler, which is the Springtime Surprise.
It is true.
So it's like, well, my body, a month before is going to be able to run an even further distance.
I mean, in theory, there would be like basically no training needed.
Yeah, basically no training needed.
Yeah, we just, at that point, you just have to maintain.
I've already decided that I have given myself full license to walk half of the half marathon if necessary. I don't even care. I'm just gonna finish it. So we'll see what I get to. But my goal is to be able to run a half on the weekend that you do the dopey.
And that I cry. A sad,
yeah. So when
death.
Steph
It's
does
in the-
her marathon,
in the fetal position.
my plan is to do the half marathon that day. So then that way, when we go to the spa, which is our plan, after
The
Steph's
foot
done her
spa.
4 races, yeah, we're
The
going to go to the
Grand
spa.
Floridian foot
I'll at
spa.
least feel like I earned it as well, having done a 10K break and then a half marathon,
Yeah.
which to most normal people still is a big deal.
Yes,
Not to Run Disney people, but to most people, it's a big deal.
it's true.
So yeah, so that's our race bib. So it was our most successful race bib, which I mean, you even said there's still race bibs.
Yeah, I was gonna
available.
say it is very exciting, but literally this morning, Telegram told me that there was a 10K race bib available, and it sat there for a while. So I was like, I wonder if I could log in now and get it,
Oh.
and I couldn't. But there are challenge yoga and 10 milers still available. So.
Well, and I'm holding out hope a little bit that so my younger sister just might happen to be in Disney that same weekend. And so I said to her, I said, hey, do you want to run the 5K with us? And she was like, oh, maybe, but like she hasn't made any of her plans yet. But I'm like, okay, well, we'll have to see when the charity bibs expire, because we've noticed that kind of dropped a whole bunch of bibs that day to Telegram. So then maybe that'll be a day I could get her a bib if she wants.
So that is the biggest tip to anybody out there who's interested in doing this and you're not quite fast enough to sign up on actual race day. Download the Telegram app. It will tell you when everything opens and when stuff pops up. And I think I mentioned it on our last episode. The fastest tip is as soon as you see anything pop up, just log in, because then if something pops up right away,
And then
It'll
and
tell
then
you.
what? Refresh,
Yeah,
right?
refresh,
Like,
and-
okay, it's only giving me the half, but I want the 10K. Okay, refresh. And then it might
Refresh.
pop up because they're sort of like dropping bibs. And then the other thing too is having your information saved.
Yeah.
So like when Steph got my bibs, she was like, okay, I'll just put in my information as quickly as I can, and then just emailed Run Disney and said, hey, I signed up my friend for a race. By the way, all her information is wrong. It should be this.
well, and I was pretty good for most of it, because I would get most of it right, and then something would happen, because it would depend if I was signing up on my phone or my laptop, because I've signed you up so many times on my phone.
So now it remembers me.
you, and so I can auto populate like your address and everything, and like I also have a lot of it memorized now because I've done it so many times, and I just have to like verify like a digit of your phone number. But then at the same time too, there's still like mishaps with Run Disney, where if you register more than one person, sometimes it gets registered wrong. Because I even found that on the Run Disney group, somebody had an issue where they registered themselves and their mother or something,
Oh, okay.
and then it registered both of them under the same name.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Yeah.
they
So,
had to,
but all of our experience with Run Disney has been super positive.
Yep.
That like they've been able to solve our problems. They've been able to give me my race registrations. Like they're super helpful and accommodating. So you know, if you're rushing to get a bib and worried, like I haven't put in all my information, whatever. They'll correct it if there's something that you mess up. Really, just even the name, right? Like even my name on my one registration
For some
was wrong,
reason,
and they
it popped
fixed
up
it.
as Courtney, and we
Yeah.
did not put it in as.
It's not like
Courtney.
it's not a flight. You're not like checking in for a flight where
No,
it
no.
has to match your documentation to the point where they will, deny you entry. It's just a race bib. So they just want to make sure like you're a real person, you're buying a bib for a real person. So when you go pick it up, you have ID saying, yes,
Exactly.
I'm this person that's running this race.
Yep.
So that bots can't go and buy a bunch
The
of bibs.
bots.
The bots.
that go in and buy them, and then you can't resell them anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyways, but yay, success.
Yay!
And I am regretting my life choices significantly.
I mean, I felt that a little bit in the last couple of weeks as I ran my last long run of my 30s to prepare for this half marathon next week was 23 kilometers. And I thought to myself, I have to do even longer than this to train for the marathon?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Marathon is a long distance.
It's a
I think that
long
even about a
time.
half marathon, I'm like, I go and run a 10K, I'm like, and so again, I have to do this whole race again, plus like, a kilometer or whatever.
Yeah, but then I also, I like tried to convince myself that at Disney, the whole reason why we do this is that you're fully entertained the whole time and it's not so bad.
Yeah.
So I think like it won't seem so bad. Because anytime that to be fair, the longest distance I have ran at Disney is the 10 miler.
Right.
But
yeah.
it never felt like 10 miles. Like it didn't feel like a crazy long race because you're entertained the whole time and then you reach the final bend.
I felt those 10 miles.
I did.
I was like, oh thank God, we're almost done.
Well, I just
to be fair though, I was also injured and like
Yeah.
I was having hip issues when we did the 10 miler,
Yeah.
and so I was like going very like I wasn't even sure how that was gonna go.
Yeah.
So mitigative circumstances, I guess.
Yeah. But either way, I hope it'll be okay. I'm actually a little bit nervous about this race because with Disneyland, for those of you who don't know, it is a little bit different of a run setup than it is for Disney World, because at Disney World, Disney owns all the land surrounding Disney World. So they can shut down the highways, they can put marching bands on the highways, they can put big screens, characters, all that. So you're entertained while you're running down the highway. Running through the streets at Anaheim is not quite the same. Somebody had mentioned on one of the run groups who's done it before, sometimes they have like some things set up, but definitely all the character stops, the majority of the entertainment is all through the parks. On the upside, when they release the route map, for the half marathon, I will be running through where the Anaheim Angels play. So I'm hoping they have like a band and like a whole grandstand going
Something
in there.
yeah.
Something just to be like, yay, you've made it this far. You've got like a mile to go. So we'll see. So I could be reliving my Waterloo 10K experience where I'm like, this is so boring. Why
This is
did
the
I
most
do
boring
it?
thing ever.
But we'll see. I don't know. It's also Anaheim, so it'll be warm and sunny, and there'll be different
Hopefully.
things to look at.
I'm curious, what we'll have to look up what the weather's like, just because with Florida, it's so humid. So even at 5 in the morning, you're already sweating. Whereas Anaheim will be like, there won't be that humidity in the morning. So it actually could be a little cooler at 5 a.m.
Friday and Saturday, as the 7-day forecast when I checked a day or two ago, was hot. Like 30 plus degree during the day.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it'll be like at 5 a.m.
Yeah. Maybe 20 would be nice.
I mean, I would run in 20 degrees, no sun, because I assume there's no sun at 5 a.m.
No, we might get to see the sunrise.
Oh.
So anyway, so let's dive into our trip. So we are going to Disneyland. We leave on Thursday next week, which is September the 5th. As a spoiler, September 6th is someone's 40th birthday. So we fly out on the 5th. We have an early morning flight. We don't really have huge plans this day. I mean, we have to go and pick up our race bibs
at the expo
at the Disneyland Hotel. We are staying at the Pixar Pier Hotel, Pixar Place Hotel. Pixar Pier is in DCA, which is confusing, but fine.
Yeah.
Pixar Place Hotel, which I'm excited about.
I know, me too, actually. I'm really excited just to kind of check it out and see what.
I've heard really good things since they did the refurb on it. So we're gonna get in. We'll probably just Uber to the hotel, drop off our stuff. Our room probably won't be ready. I think we'll get in around 11 or 12.
Yep.
My goal is that we're going to go to Trader Sam's. So that's the first attempt. So we'll go, but then I'm thinking we can put our name on the list.
And there's only 2 of us.
And then we can go, because it's at the Disneyland Hotel, which is where we have to go for the race bibs anyway. So we can stop by Trader Sam's, try and put our name on a wait list. If they're like, oh, it's a 3-hour wait, we'll be like, cool. Go get our race bibs, wander around
downtown
the hotel,
Disney.
downtown Disney, whatever. I have like going to Salt and Straw, which I love, which is in downtown Disney. You also maybe want to go to that Donut Star, which is like, I think I looked it up. I think it's like 4K return to get there and back. So I'm like, if we want to, we could wander for a stroll.
Because that was supposed to be my original 5K run before we got
Yeah. Well, we didn't get her in the 5K. I'm like, well, we'll run to Donut Star, get you a donut, run back.
Get me the most delicious cheap donut, and then run back.
Yeah, instead of like a beer mile, we'll do a donut mile for you. That's more your speed.
That is my speed.
So yeah, and then just sort of like pool, relaxing. I have to look up the restaurants in downtown Disney to kind of have an idea. Like I put like Black Tap on there, which I've eaten at before. Great burgers, the craziest milkshakes ever, right? Sort of thing. But there's a few new restaurants that just opened up.
So then
there's an Asian fusion one, I think,
which is my jam.
Right up your alley. Yeah. So that might be an option. So anyway, so we don't really have concrete plans, and that's partially because if we don't get into Trader Sam's, like we'll go get our race bibs and we'll come back and try and get on the wait list again, and so maybe we'll go back for dinner. So we're kind of leaving options open. get into Trader Sam's for Steph.
Yes, because I really want to go, and I don't understand why they won't let us book a reservation.
I know. Yeah, they do. It does say you can check availability and get a reservation. I heard from people that it is available to get a reservation, but we've have all the alerts set. I've never even seen one.
It is the one alert I have set on mouse dining.
Yeah,
that nothing has ever come up.
Never come up.
And we were like, when on the day that we were eligible to book any of our reservations, it was like right away, first thing. But I've also played around with it and just looked other days, like 60 days in the future, and there's nothing. So
yeah, so I don't know if it's just they don't always take reservations or what it is. But anyway, so that's our first day. So then I'll try and convince Steph to go to bed early. We'll see how that works. She'll probably find herself some sort of espresso martini at a hotel bar.
And just sit there and be like, it's the last day of my 30s.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So then we wake up bright and early, which for us, because of the time change, shouldn't be too bad. I think we're going to be up anyways. We'll have to figure out how early we want to get, because we're actually going to walk over to the race. We don't have to rely on Disney transportation or public transportation or anything like that.
And I don't think there actually is a shuttle.
So I read that there's a shuttle from the Disneyland hotel.
Oh.
But you have to show your Disneyland key card. And I thought, so if I'm staying on property at Pixar Place, what, I don't get a shuttle? I don't know that I want one, but it's just
But that's
weird.
also something we talked about we could ask at the expo.
Yeah, so we'll get up for the race. So the race goes off at 5 a.m., same as all the other races. We are both doing the 5K. I have designed the costume.
And
Steph
I know nothing.
does not know what I'm dressing her up as, and it's very exciting. I've shown a few people the costume, and they've all said, that's awesome.
The only thing I know is that she tried it on Cooper.
Yes, Cooper was my model, because I was like, I need to know like roughly, you know, because she's shorter than me, so I'm like, if I measured it on myself, I was worried it might like proportionally be the wrong.
But then wasn't it Cooper that said, but she has boobs?
Yeah.
And did this?
And put little fists under the costume. It's only a 12-year-old can do.
Yeah, so that's that. And then I've been told to wear my white tights.
Yes,
and
white tights. Yeah, that's all you know. You're going to love it, though. I think you're going to think it's just adorable. I love it.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So 5K race day, we'll do our 5K race. And then Disneyland threw us for a loop.
They did. They messed it all up.
So every week, they have early entry at one of the two parks. And since we're staying on property, we get early entry. So, of course, we're going to do that. And it's always the same. So it's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday is Disney California Adventure.
DCA.
And the other days, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, is Disneyland. So we're like, great. So we made our park reservations, all this. So then I'm just like looking up the calendar to double check the times for the parade. Hey, is World of Color playing? Like just trying to finalize
all of our itineraries.
And I'm like, why does it say that it's Disneyland early entry on the Friday? That's not right. Anyways, and yeah, sure enough. And I assume it's because of where the races go on and off. They actually had to switch things around. So then I'm scrambling, being like, oh my God, I hope there's still park reservations, which there were. So it was fine. So now we're starting. But then, of course, we planned all of our
reservations,
dining reservations. Like our whole plans were around like that being a different starting time. So anyways, that's fine. So we're going to Disneyland first. Early entry opens at 7:30. We're going to try and get there as early as we can, depending on when we finish the race. Steph is convinced we're going to be in like the latest corral.
Because I messed up on my estimated time for how long it'll take me to run the 5K, in that I didn't fill it out. And I don't know how I missed that tick box.
But I think my thought is that I think you'll be fine because you're signed up for the challenge and you did put a proof of time for your half. And so I think they'll do it based on your proof of time, and you'll just be in the same corral, because you have to be in the same corral for all your races.
No, you're not.
I thought you got one bib.
You don't. You get two.
Oh, because the 5K isn't included. Oh, no, we're screwed.
So
we're in corral.
Screwed. This is why I said we're screwed.
Zed.
No. And then I'll be like going like this, get out of my way.
Yeah. Excuse us, trying to make early entry. She's gonna make me sprint the whole thing. Anyways, okay, that's fine. So of course, our life revolves around running and food.
Yep.
So we have a lot of food planned.
Yep.
The thing about Disneyland and Disney California Adventure, I find, is that because we're going to do the multi-lane, which will be our first time using it under the new name.
I know.
But it works the same.
I know, but it came up on my app, and I was like,
yeah, so we're using multi-lane and maybe single lane if we want.
Yeah.
So I find because it works so well at Disneyland and DCA, I don't find you have to plan as much. So, we'll have an idea of what we want to rope drop and that kind of thing. But otherwise, it'll just be like, okay, what do we get next in the app? And we'll kind of go along that way. I have Ronto roasters for breakfast because I want that Ronto wrap.
The breakfast wrap.
I love it.
I do know you do.
And then mint julep bar for beignets.
Yum.
So excited.
Donut day on my birthday.
Donut day on your birthday.
That's what we did.
Then I have in the morning to order treats from Jolly Holiday for later in the afternoon because some of the stuff sells out. They have a macaron that's delicious. Cooper still talks about it. So we're gonna hopefully pick those up for the afternoon. And just kind of do rides.
Yeah.
See how it goes. And then, so this is where we kind of messed up because we have a lunch reservation at Lamplight Lounge in DCA. And I actually moved it earlier. I had put an alert because originally I think we weren't going to do it till like 12:30 or something. But now because our days are kind of a little messed up, I was like, well, let's see if I can get something slightly earlier so we can hop earlier so we can do a bunch of DCA in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And so I got a 11:30, so like a little bit better that like we'll basically hop at 11, go for brunch, and then we can do some DCA rides or nap or pool, or we'll kind of see how we're feeling.
See how it goes.
We're going to try and join the virtual queue for the World of Color because I heard you can do a virtual queue to get the seating. So we're going to hopefully do that so we can do World of Color that night. And if we miss it, then that's why we then have an option to do it the next night because we have 2 days of parks. Oga's Cantina, again, we had to move that reservation around because it wasn't at a good time, but we got a 4:40. I'm still trying to see if I can get one later in the evening.
Because our original one was 3:10.
Yeah, which was then really tight with like going back and forth. So that's why I first moved. It was a lot of moving of reservations.
A lot of moving, and it was not the easiest for me to cancel. That's a whole other thing. I ended up having to get on like the chat and talking to somebody about it, and that eventually got it canceled because their app, as with all, Disney is all magical with all things except when it comes to their app.
Their app can do so much when it works.
When it works. When it doesn't work, sometimes it's no good.
Very frustrating.
Yeah.
So then we go to Oga's for Steph so she can get Oga's drink on her birthday. Yep. I have Magic Happens Parade. I've heard it's a really good parade. So we're going to try and like pick up our treats and time it to then be able to watch the parade. I have Bengal barbecue as another snack option for us.
Delicious to get the barbecue pineapple.
So good. All their stuff is so good. The bacon wrapped asparagus. I don't know if you had that.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, it was good too. And then we're going to go see World of Color, so we'll hop back over to DCA at some point. I put Lucky Fortune Cookery as an option for us. They have mobile order, so like, if we're getting a little snacky.
That's the best way to eat though, is all the snackies.
I know. So, and then World of Color, we'll see if we make it. And by we, I mean me, because Steph will definitely make it. She might be watching it by herself if I've passed out by then. Because it goes off at what time? 9 o'clock, which is really midnight our time, and we're getting up at probably 6 a.m. our time. So it's going to be a long day.
It is a long day, but that's also a normalish day of how we roll at Disney.
Yeah. So that's Steph's birthday.
That's my birthday.
And then she'll be depressed the next day because now she'll just be old and it's not her birthday anymore.
And I'll fall apart instantly during this 10K, according to your logic.
Oh yeah, everything will hurt. Good luck on the half.
Oh.
It's over.
Thanks.
So next day, same thing. We have a 10K, which I am also running with Steph. My two races. We have our costumes. Do you want to describe our costumes, Steph?
So, for those of you who may not know, at Disney World there are Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties. They happen around this time of year.
They've already started.
They
started at the beginning of August. Yeah.
And all the cast members wear these little costumes that are exactly the same, and I managed to find us miniature versions.
Literally size 10T, so for like 10-year-olds.
Little people that we've converted into running costumes. But they look very much like
identical to what the cast members wear.
And they were, I think, like $15 a piece on AliExpress.
If that.
It was very inexpensive. So we were okay cutting them up and making them fit our adult 4-year-old women bodies.
Yes, I cut the entire size because Steph ordered one for herself and she was trying to find a larger size for me because I am a larger person than Steph. And she's like, I can't find it. I was like, buy me the child's one. I will make it work. Like, I can sew, I can do whatever. I'll alter it. And so it comes, and I'm like, I can't even.
Well, the best part about this is it comes to my house first, and I put it on, And I'm like, I cannot zip this up. And to me, it didn't make sense because I've purchased other costumes in the same brand. Like the Lilo and Stitch costume I wore for the challenge was the exact same brand. I could get it on, but it was the type of material it didn't stretch.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get it off. I couldn't get it on, like zipped up all the way. And then I definitely could not get it off. I thought I was going to have to cut myself out of it. And then I somehow like yoga maneuvered myself out of it and managed to get myself out of it. And I was like, Court, there's no way. No way you're
so
getting
I put it on, and I take a picture. I show Steph, and Steph's like, "How did you get that on?" I'm like, "Oh, I cut the entire side."
Well, and that's what I said. I was like, "How open at the back is it?" And
No,
then she
sides.
showed me it was
Yeah.
all the sides.
Yeah.
She like
So
sliced
basically,
it
I cut
all
the sides, and then I've sewn on little like ties. So I'll just tie it on the sides,
Yeah.
and I'm like, perfect, and then it looks great, and you put the little apron on. So
mine is like the little bit of the risque one because I cut it from here all the way down.
Yeah.
So I'll just wear like a yellow shirt underneath,
Perfect.
and it'll be perfect.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
So
So and then you made us.
I made us little headbands
They have
because
headbands.
the cast members all wear bat headbands,
Mhm.
and we have to have names for our bats if somebody asks us.
Oh, okay.
Because that is something that they ask the cast
Okay.
members is what is your bat's name?
All right, I'll think about what my bat name
Yeah.
will be. Are you gonna make us name tags too?
I brought this stuff that we could do it all, and then I'll print it off. when
Oh,
we
okay.
go
All
home,
right,
so.
fun. So we'll have little. So anyway, so we're gonna look super adorable as Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween cast members.
Yes.
We'll do our 10K, and same thing. We're gonna try and do early entry. This one will be a little bit tighter because just depending what corral we're in, and we have to get back to the hotel, which we'll
Sure.
walk over to. So anyways, we'll see.
But
but-
Pixar place
Yeah,
Pixar Place is attached to DCA
it has its own walkway into it, which
into
is
Pixar Pier.
very nice.
Yeah.
So we'll maybe try that out. Although I have heard for rope dropping, it's not great because you're like so far from some of the stuff you'd want to rope drop.
Yeah.
But we'll debate depending on what time. Like it might just be faster to go that way. But so we're gonna do DCA. We're gonna do multi-lane again this day and single lane. And we actually have a pretty big goal for this day.
Especially
Steph,
since we're starting at DCA.
since we're starting at DCA, which was not initially
No.
the plan. But what is our big goal for this day, Steph?
Our goal for this day,
And we have shirts.
We have shirts for that I made that say 10K, all the Disneyland rides
in one day. Yeah.
So-
So we were originally going to try and do all the rides, but I was like, honestly, I just don't even think I want to do a bunch of the DCA rides because it's a lot of those like midway carnival type rides. I'm like, I don't care about riding
No,
the
I
Ferris
know.
wheel. I will do it if I have to.
I
but-
mean, my children were convinced they were going to die on the Ferris wheel the last time we were there because it got stuck or something, and then a couple times it just jerked, and I remember Elliot flying from one side to the other, being like, "Oh my gosh, what just happened?"
Oh dear.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
That's
so
okay.
well, we're starting the morning DCA because we were like, well, do we not do early entry? But it seems silly to not do early entry because it's one of the perks of staying on site. So we're like, forget it. We'll just do early entry and we'll just stay late into Disneyland.
because we can.
I mean, it'll be open as late as we want to stay, basically,
Yeah.
because you still have to get up for a race the next day.
I know.
But I have the Shawarma Palace Impossible Breakfast Shawarma wrap to try in the morning.
Impossible breakfast.
Yeah, it's a vegan and it sounds delicious. I've read a lot of reviews saying it's super good. So we're gonna have that for breakfast. We're gonna hop over to Disneyland at 11. Like basically, as soon as we can go over there, we're gonna hop over there. I have noted to get the chocolate chip cookies at Harbor Gallery.
Yum.
Gallery. Harbor Galley. They're supposed to be super good, and there's a cookie butter dipping something that you can get with them that you're supposed to like dip
Dip
the
your cookie in?
Yeah, apparently it's super good.
Is it butter or is it icing?
It's cookie. I think it's cookie butter icing.
Okay.
Cookie butter icing that you can dip your cookies in,
So
and they're warm.
Oh, so it could be delicious.
Anyways,
Or
all sounds amazing.
a
So
high sugar
yeah,
run.
lunch we're gonna do Cafe Orleans.
Yum.
For two reasons. One, to get the Monte Cristo sandwich, which I've never had, and I looked up and it has Swiss cheese, which I can have because Swiss cheese is lactose free naturally. What? I know all the things
That's
that I'm
why I
learning.
don't like it then. It's the one cheese that I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, there's no lactose. I mean, to be fair, I also don't really love Swiss cheese, but like if it's melted on something, it's fine. Like it's just part of. Anyways, that's how they make it with the Swiss cheese. But you got to get the Monte Cristo sandwich. It's like iconic, whatever. And the other reason I'm excited is because they have a plant-based creme brulee,
Oh, yes.
which I had seen they had a plant-based creme brulee somewhere, and then I couldn't find it for the life of me. I'm like, I swear I saw this. This exists. I didn't just make this up in my mind. Anyways, finally figured out where it was. It was at Cafe Orleans. So that's the other reason I want to go there.
Okay.
And it's not Steph's birthday, so I get to pick where we're going.
That's fine.
And then I do have a note that, like, if we are getting tired and we feel like we're not going to make it, that we can take a pause for hotel, nap, swim. I don't know. We'll see, because, like, if it's really super hot, we might want to take a break to get out of the heat. If we're, like,
plowing through to do all the
we're loving
Disneyland,
it, and we're
all of Disneyland.
Yeah, making good time. We'll do that. I figure we'll be trying to use, like, all our multi-lanes. Like, in the morning, we'll probably do DCA, maybe without much multi-lane, and try and get them mostly
later on at Disneyland.
Later on. I also have a note to try and get, like, book certain rides that tend to go down in the morning, so that we can maybe get some multi-experience passes.
Yeah.
Because that's going to help with the Disneyland Ride Every Ride Challenge.
Extravaganza.
Oh, and then I made a note to go to Candy Palace on Main Street, because they have a chocolate dipped pineapple skewer.
Oh, yum.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
I think, just dark chocolate dipped.
Mhm.
Anyways, also getting rave reviews. There was also another thing I told Steph she has to get, because I can't eat it, but it's like some garlic
Oh yeah, I saw a video about it this week.
with, like, cream cheese in
Yeah.
it, garlic bread, cream
Cream
cheese,
cheese.
something. Anyways, people are raving about it.
Yeah.
So you may have to get that.
I think they just need to get some lactate. I mean, you could eat some.
I know. I've tried Lactaid once, and it had terrible results, and I just didn't want to try it again. Anyways, and then dinner, Tiana's place, which we're both excited to try. I'm really excited because, like, it's like they don't have one on the Florida coast at all. Like,
No.
I don't know that they're even opening.
I don't
one.
think they are.
Yeah. So
Which is crazy because that's the whole
yeah.
Tiana thing.
But anyway, so we're gonna go there, and then same thing, sort of like Fantasyland rides, maybe in the evening, so that we can try and just get through all of them.
And they're all just like
yeah. So we would have rope dropped them. That would have been the plan, but
rope drop Peter Pan.
Yep. And then I did put as an optional, there's a Fire of the Rising Moons with fireworks. It's like some, like, sort of Star Wars type of nighttime show in Disneyland. Or if we didn't get into World of Color, we may try and do World of Color this night, or we might do all the Disneyland rides and then call it kaputs, because we're both exhausted, and Steph has to run a half marathon the next day.
Yay!
And as she maybe learned, maybe didn't learn from our experience at Disney World, is that she became a real dum-dum.
I'm already anticipating this happening.
Because she didn't get enough sleep
No,
had way too many steps.
Maybe it was way too many steps. I think the biggest challenge of becoming a dum-dum was, like, being mentally fatigued, and then also anytime sitting down, feeling like whatever seat I sat in was the most comfortable seat
and then
of life.
and they'd be like, "Hey, Steph, we're going." She'd be like, "Oh no, but I've just sat down. I need to sit." So yeah, so we'll see. Anyways, we'll see what happens. Stay tuned for the post-trip report. But then the last day is Steph's getting up to do the half. Yep. I am sleeping in to my heart's content while she runs 2 hours.
Dressed as a princess version of the Oogie Boogie.
Yeah. It's a cute costume.
It is a very cute costume. Yeah. Again, built for 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
I can somehow get into it, and I was putting on my hat the other day just to see if I could, like, bobby pin it into my hair. I'll have to figure out how to do my hair. I might have to do, like, a low braid or something, because trying to get it onto my giant head, apparently, it just sits, and then I have to, like, bobby pin and clip.
Yeah.
But it actually fits Elliot really well, because he came in and was like, "What are you wearing, Mom?" I'm like, "It's the Oogie Boogie hat."
So
He's
maybe
like,
he can be Oogie Boogie non-princess version for Halloween this year.
Yeah, maybe. But it is. It's like this cute little princess costume that's Oogie Boogie themed. And when I complete the half marathon, which I will, come hell or high water, I will finish it.
You'll finish it.
I know, I'll finish
You'll finish it.
I will complete my coast to coast.
Yay! I wonder, do you think they'll give you your coast to coast medal?
Oh, you do. So I learned this after the challenge,
because we saw people getting. Yeah. You saw people getting their coast to coast medal.
There's a different line that you go through when you finish.
Do you have to do the half to get a coast to coast medal?
Yes.
Yeah.
It has to
Half
be
or
the
more.
half or more. So the half or the 10.
Yeah.
To get the coast to coast. And I think it's when I pick up my bib, there's like a special little thing that gets
that you rip off. Yeah. So you'll do your half marathon. I will sleep in, just lounge, and then we have breakfast reservation at the Grand Californian Hotel at their Craftsman
fancy.
Bar. I don't know, it's supposed to be good.
It is supposed to be really good, actually.
So we're gonna try that out, go just go tour around. It's a beautiful hotel, like has like this beautiful big lobby, like old Californian kind of woodsy hotel.
We did come very close to thinking, well, this is my 40th birthday.
I know. Do we just
book it?
It's so expensive though. It's so hard to justify.
I know.
But even like I feel like that was why we splurged on the Pixar place, because there's so many hotels that are close by that like we debated, right? We almost weren't going to stay on property, but then just where some of the other hotels were, Steph was like, well, then you'd have to like walk all the way around to get to like where they start the races, because they broke stuff off.
Yeah, and even where there were some very nice off-site hotels that were close to the start that are highly recommended by Run Disney to like, and other people who have done the California races to be like, oh, stay at this hotel. They cater to the Run Disney crew, like you get a box and like all this stuff. The price difference between them and Pixar Place was not that different. Like I think it was maybe a difference of like $50 a night, which in the grand scheme of things is nothing.
Yeah, yeah. And this way we get to stay at a Disney hotel and check it off the list.
And it's a brand new, newly renovated.
Newly renovated, and it's like I said, it's getting rave reviews for the renovation.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. And then we don't really, again, have too much plans. We fly out this evening, but we'll have to head to the airport sort of early afternoon. So again, I have Trader Sam's on the list in case we either A, want to try and go again, or B, didn't get to go and want to
try to
get on the list. So, rope drop Trader Sam's.
And I mean, we're really just like killing time at this point.
Yeah, so maybe we'll hang out at the pool, like actually do some relaxing time.
Yeah, so that we don't have to worry like last time when I was trying to stand in line for Ratatouille and then got on Ratatouille and was like, I have to get off Ratatouille?
Yeah, but I've sat down.
I sat down and it's so comfortable. And
so
Ratatouille is not
It might be a very loungy morning at the pool. We'll see what the weather's like. We'll grab some food, maybe at Trader Sam's. Maybe we'll just go to somewhere in downtown Disney. So yeah, we'll just kind of, it's not fully planned out, which is weird for me, but
it is. But this is also, I feel this is like California life.
Yeah,
right.
It's definitely got a more laid back vibe when you go to Disneyland. The fun planning aspect of what I love about Disney World, it's less so in Disneyland, but there's still like a bunch of options. And when you do a short trip like this, I think it's perfect. Like 2 days is more than enough. We did when I went with the kids. We did 3 days, and we didn't really need 3 days.
No, and even when I went with my kids, we did 2 days.
Yeah.
And it was perfect. And my kids are very little, and it was fine.
Yeah. So I'm excited. We leave in less than a week, which is kind of crazy that summer's over and it's already into September.
It's true, because I remember when we booked this so long ago that I was like, oh, that's so far away.
Yeah.
Like, so far away. And now it's almost here.
So anyways, I think that'll about wrap it up for this episode, Steph. So until next time,
Tweedle out.